How many clamps does it take to get to the center of a Galion? Okay, I'm gonna take this line off up here. See what comes out. Ooh, yeah. That's like straight water. It is straight water. Holy moly. Straight water. 100% straight water. Holy cow. Very little oil. That's oil. Yeah. Looking a mess. Jeez Louise, yeah. So that's not bad looking oil. There was a little bit of water at first, but that's really not bad looking oil. It's not coming out pure white. So we'll just let that sit and drain. Okay, I'm getting the hoses off. I got those two hoses off, which are the ones that feed the boom cylinder. Look at the size of that son of a buck, man. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Look at the size of that thing. So this is that looks like a valve to keep it from coming down in case of a hose break. If the washer would come off, it would. Yeah, rotten pot liquor. Why won't you turn? Whoa, there we go. So that's how I'm gonna have to do it then. So I can't rotate this unless I took this lid off. Let me see what's in the holes. Oh, those aren't Allen head, those are star heads. Oh, yummy. Yeah, I bet that takes a special socket. There's no clearance in there, Clarence. So let's see if I'm gonna turn this to get in there. No way. There's no way. Unless that turns out, how am I gonna do this? It's just bent. Something's bent that. Oh, good Lord. I just don't see how we're ever going to get them. Oh, great. Drop socket down in there. Shit. I can't reach it. Son of a belly aching. Alright, time to go get the magnet. Shit. Contact. Alright, that's a... Alright. How'd I have that? Like that. Okay, that's on. See if I can get that one out. Somebody tell me again why I'm doing this. Refresh my memory as why I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? That's straight water coming out the bottom of that barrel. Ain't it? Ain't it? What's the matter, Griff? You waiting for Matt to start that sled so you can bark at it? Alright, so got all my pipes off. Just got that line, but I think I'm gonna start doing some dynamiting here and try to get rid of this junk around this before I start trying to pull it off. There goes my light. Anyway, got a pile of bolts, pile of pipes. Alrighty then, so my hoses are out, and this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought all that grease and stuff in there was going to be terrible to get out, but so far it's broke up pretty well, and I've used the shop vac to suck it up. Some of the pieces were so big it wouldn't do it, so I had to dig all that out by hand, but I think I've kind of got a pretty good idea of how this thing works. And it's got 4 bolts on it, and you can see a parting line there, so it's a big circle, and I see a hole right there. I'm not sure exactly how this works. So that you got that big thick valve, or that big thick cast block underneath that the control valve bolted to. I'm assuming if you remove that, because it's probably bolted to the bottom of this valve, and then after you remove that big chunk of crap, I'm assuming you could take the 4 bolts out of each corner of this and lift the whole thing out. Not sure how I'm going to get it out of there in one piece. Not even sure if I could lift that outer section off of there if I took the top plate off. But anyway, I'm making progress. My hands are showing it. Got no hide there. I got a bleeder there. I got a cut finger over here, right there. Got a gash from a couple days ago. But it's been kind of nice because since I took that valve off the bottom, all the oil out of the lines and everything drained out. And when I took these big hoses and lines off this side and these smaller ones on the other, I didn't have any oil. I had a little come out of the barrel when I took the check valve off, because it's up a little bit higher. But look at the size of that barrel. This is my light. Look at the size of that thing. It's just massive. Anyway, it'd be really cool to go through that, but man, I ain't got the time or patience to pull that out of here. So this is that big square block under there, and then you've got this plate, which they're calling a plate seal, not used with 127 115 block. And I don't know what I have, so here's the other one that doesn't have that plate. So I don't know what I have, but I'm assuming you can unbolt this, that it's tied to this cylinder, and this will all come off, and then if you take the 4 bolts out, you can lift that whole assembly out, is what I'm assuming. I don't know which one I have. I really don't. Okay, it's Saturday morning. The roads have melted off. Cold weather's gone away. We need to go get the 336 and bring it home. We got a bunch of work to do to it, a bunch of problems. So I have had the truck plugged in for a little while. I've had the pan heater plugged in. Anyway, the one cool thing I love about an Acert is its ability to start. They just fire up right now. 18-to-1 compression, it'll start no matter how close it is. Short cord plug into that. These won't fit. It's not coming. It's not coming. Uh-oh. I bet that big square chunk's hanging off of this. Feels like that square chunk down there's hanging off of this. Can you look? Creeper's on the other side. Here's the light. I'm gonna wiggle it. Just tell me if you see that big square block wiggling. Ah, shoot. Alright, well that means I gotta undo those. I'm gonna have to undo those lines and take that out. Alright, so that big square block on the bottom is gonna come up out with that whole thing, I believe. I had to undo 3 lines down there and they were a booger because the JIC adapters into the valve wanted to rotate, and that was a super pain to get on those with a thin wall wrench and get them undone. So let's see what happens. Up just like this. Oh, now I'm stuck again. Get your hand in there. Let go of this bar for a second. Well, that big block.
Try coming up a little bit more.
Still not out of the hole. And then it gets stuck.
Yeah, it's just stuck on that side. Okay, I'll give you the light.
Is it? Don't put your fingers in there, dude. Do not put your fingers in there. You can't do anything with your hands. That's too heavy. About all we can do is get bars. But I just don't see how it goes.
What the hell are the blocks for?
Well, see, in the one picture it says there's bolts that go in here. And you adjust the bolts, but it's to hold the valve. from rotating.
You still got the block on the bottom of it?
Oh, that thick one, yeah.
Oh, well, that ain't gonna come out, is it?
Yeah, it's up coming through the hole now. Yeah, it'll come. But it's like, I wonder if we need to turn this the whole thing or something.
Rotate it 180?
Well, enough to get, I don't know, like that.
That might do it. Coming out sideways like you were might work. You get it on such an angle, it might fit through those.
Daily basis. What you doing?
Take your picture. Taking your picture, Mama.
I bought you a rocking chair.
Well, you're certainly old enough to have one.
Granny with the kids.
Okay, Matt, now we gotta go forward with the hoist. Finish off the window.
Did you do that? Did you bust the window?
Yeah.
You did. Aw. It shouldn't break it.
Yeah. It's going through the window. Ooh, holy moly. All right. Oh. Jeff wins. Huh? That's okay. It's out, baby doll. All right, so we finally got that up out of there, as you saw. The window I was pushing against that so hard I broke it. So anyway, there's the hole, and I put a cardboard box down in there. I'm gonna have to scrape the rest of this dirt and crap out and then go underneath and clean off as much crap as I can. It would be really cool to just drag it outside and go after it with a steam cleaner some more. That would be awesome. Matter of fact, that gives me an idea. I'm wondering, I could just lift those outriggers up like I did that one. Make sure I plug all the hydraulic lines and everything good. I could take it out there and go after it with steam cleaner again, which would be awesome. So I got this valve out here on the floor, shop floor, and I took the top plate off. And I've got it suspended off the ground, and I whacked the top of that and it's not coming out. These holes are threaded, and I think originally, according to the parts book, there was a bolt and a jam nut went on there. But on this machine, they've got blocks welded in there. And I kind of wish you had the bolts instead of the blocks, because once you remove the bolts, you would have tons of room. Actually, you wouldn't have to remove them. You'd just have to screw them in. And then that would come up out of there much easier than it did. So there's the big cast iron block still bolted to the bottom. Anyway, I stuck a bar into there and pried on it. So I don't know what I'm going to do to get it off, unless that's something you have to put in a press. Try to get something under here and press down on that center shaft. I just don't know. But I'm winning. Told you I'd win. I'm going to kick its ass. This thing's going to go again. I don't care what. So I haven't spent huge amounts of money on this. I mean, it's just been nickel and dime stuff. The seals. Now I'm going to have that steering cylinder rebarreled. That's going to cost a few bucks. And get a new rod on that one outrigger ram. But other than that, it's just coming down to seals, hoses, and small things like that. So it's not like I'm spending 10,000 bucks on it. So it is dark 30 outside. I am going to go in the house. It's Saturday night. Alrighty, so she is apart. Haven't started cleaning up the inside of that. That'll be easy. It's this cylinder that's just going to be awesome. So there it is. You can see those top two lands are the ports that aren't used, and they're pretty rusty. Not too concerned about them, but there's some slight rust here and there on it. No rust, no bad pitting in where the seals go. Assume that the barrel's going to be the same way, but I'm going to have to get out the shotgun cleaner brushes to go up those passages and get all the crud off of that. Shop dog's out here. He's out like a bulb. Like a burned out bulb. So this is the cylinder that all the O-rings go on, and the grooves where the oil goes, they're all pretty good. Now these two grooves are the two ports that it doesn't use, and this one's horrible, but as long as this one's good, I don't care about these. So I've been running a wire brush around it, and then taking emery paper, I split it down into a smaller strip, and then you twist it and then go in here and go around and around. Cleans up them grooves and the sides of them really good. And then I took an extension and a wire wheel and the sandpaper and went up these holes. So I think this hole and this hole are the two that aren't going to get used, and that's just a center hole. But so here's my other issue. I must have the older model. So this gasket, it's actually just rubber O-ring material sandwiched between steel plates. And I think it was leaking. I don't really think that's a good way to seal. And I don't know if I can get it or not, but the later models don't use this. So probably what I'd do is take that square block and take it to the machine shop, and on that side have them cut it for O-rings, because to me it looks like the later model one that's what they've done. They've got rid of that plate and they've just gone to O-rings. So yeah, 11's an O-ring, 10's an O-ring, 9's an O-ring. So that's what they've done, is they've taken this block and cut it for O-rings. Now the other thing is, this block doesn't have these two plugs in here, so all the dirt, moisture went up in there and really corroded those last two ports they don't use. When I pressed it out, and my camera had a problem and the footage is corrupted, so you don't get to see me pushing the barrel out of it. And I couldn't get it in the press because my throat's not wide enough, so I just used an H-bar. And luckily they have 2 3/8 bolt holes on the top, and I just pushed it down and out the barrel, and it went pretty stiff at first, and I think it was cutting these O-rings. But these are all the other ones that came out one piece. So anyway, I'm working hard. Mr. Griffey's not. Are you, Mr. Griffey? Okay, I've been honing on this. Up top, it's bad. Bad, bad, bad. But down where it actually seals, where the other 6 ports that it uses really don't look that bad. They're cleaning up. So she's cleaned it up down there, but not so much up on those last 2 that don't look good. Haven't got a whole lot done today, but I've been working on this, cleaning it up, and I found this thing in this cool box of all these flapper wheel things. Mike Weimer sent me this stuff, and this is the coolest thing ever. I have no idea what this is, Mike, but you can take this in here and go like that, and you can really smooth up these edges so as the seals go in, they don't get cut. I mean, this really took it down and does a nice job versus taking emery paper and taking your finger in there and going at it and going at it. So a lot of debris in there from scratching and scraping. This ain't in the best of shape up there towards the last 2 ports here, but these had plugs in them, they don't get used. So I've got the cylinder over here. Oh, I called Andy. Andy's going to get me the O-rings for this. I gave him the measurements, and he's going to get me the O-rings. So these are the 2 holes that don't get used because they're rusty. And then this, where the O-ring sits, they're in really good shape until you get closer to these 2 that aren't used. So this is the last one, and it's in good shape. And so that's the important part. Inside the cylinder, inside the barrel, and then everything this way is good, and I'm not really worried about it not sealing, but this is not good. This groove is not good. This last one's good. And this is kind of interesting. So I think I showed you and explained. So this is the side that had some lines in it, 3 lines. And then on this other side, you've got these ports, and these are the ones that go into here and go up to those two glands that aren't used. And there was no plugs in this, and so all the junk could just go up in there and the moisture and whatever, and I think that's what rusted that so bad. And then they've got this hole here which hooks to the center hole, and then that hooks to the one that goes up through the middle of the cylinder. I have no idea why they built it like that. So I've got this cleaned up and ready to go. And then my other hurdle is that gasket right here. And I don't know if I could get this or not, but I was talking to Andy, and I think what I'll do is, it's amazing, for as old as this machine is, those O-rings are still flexible. They're not hard. So I was thinking I'd just clean this up with lightly with some emery paper or something. Get it all nice and clean, the metal part of it, and then use some Loctite 545 to go around these, which is just an anaerobic sealant to make sure these seal, if I can't get one. It's the job that never ends, just drags on and on forever. So it's Thursday, it's cleanup day at the Jpaydirt. I took these over on the wire wheel. As you can see, some of these have been on there 60 years. They're pretty corroded, but the wire wheel won't go in and get this flange clean. So I have to put them in the vise, and I have to take a screwdriver in there to break that stuff loose, then take that wire wheel to clean them up. So this is just part of some of the stuff I've been cleaning up. So I got those lines cleaned up, washed, plugged off so they don't get dirty. I've done all these bolts, all of those in the clamps. So some of these I just didn't even bother cleaning up because I'm just gonna have to throw them away because they're so corroded. I mean, there was one in there that there was nothing left of it. I don't know what I did with it. I got a hold of Cherry Picker Parts down in Louisiana, and they actually stock these Galion parts. They have the cables. I got a really good price on them, and I've got a bunch of O-rings coming from them, miscellaneous things, everything I could get. But they don't offer this plate gasket anymore. And so I talked to Brian Block, and I've come to the conclusion that if I take a knife and cut this out and then put the O-ring in there, this plate will hold it. I could have this machine for O-rings. I called my local machine guy. Well, I just sent him some pictures, and he says, no, I can't do it. I may still look at that option if I could find somebody with a CNC. Brian said, you know, those guys have the ability to scan it, go in the computer, write a program, set up the machine, and zit, zit, zit. It'll do all those grooves. But everything I've seen on this doesn't have a round groove in the bottom. They're all flat in the bottom. So that's what I'm doing, cleanup today. I got a lot of cleanup to do. So I come out here and wire brush and sniff lots of dust and rust, and it's probably all over my face. Fun, fun, fun. Anyway, sure appreciate everybody's help with trying to help me find cables and parts and whatever, because it's really tough to find anything for these old cranes. So I appreciate that very much. So I'm cleaning these clamps up.
That's just so crazy.
I'm watching Whistling Diesel.
Mention it all. Wait.
He's gonna go. He bought a D355 Komatsu and he's gonna roll it through downtown Granby.
There's no basement now. You would not fall in again. This guy,
Kid's got
this white truck
balls,
is code
doesn't he?
enforcement. He's exactly the type of person. I see. Do you have any tips of anybody we could interview?
Probably Patrick Brower.
Damn, dude.
Who wrote this book?
You know, I don't know why they call it Killdozer. It didn't kill anybody.
He's our former.
Killdozer is an old B movie with a D9G.
Have a good one. So none of them were here.
Okay, sweetheart. Destroy.
Bulldozer's gonna pull up right in line with the old hardware store that it fell into. This is the first time since 2004 that this dozer has been in town. Right across from the shop where it fell into the basement.
It was a 55A. Here's the book. You need to read this before you make any real strong conclusions about how Marv was picked on.
Well, we didn't make any conclusions yet. That's what we're here for.
Cool. Call me up.
He said that it was a D355A, but John said that the A is the same. This is an A. It just doesn't have the decal.
Right. I can see both sides after this. There's a lot of nice people in this town. I can also see how someone could get really f***ed over by the government. Someone could be crazy, and someone could also sound crazy, but have really base claims.
Right.
Anyways, interpret it how you want. Everybody here seems to be nice people now, though. And they say that the town has changed a lot since then. Did it change because of him? Maybe. Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things.
So Jeff, been busy out here, so I had to wire wheel these on the grinder. Then I had to bring them over here and scrape those flanges. Then run this in there to clean them up. Now I'm running a drill bit through there to clean the crap out. That's a lot of clamps. Some of them are pretty clean. Some of them are pretty raggedy. This one's a pretty corroded raggedy bagger right here. Look at that. Look how pitted that is. It's not pitted under the flange. If it was pitted under there, I'd have to throw it away. Just in here, that's no biggie. But this has got to be square and clean. Contact the pipe and push her down tight. Okay. It's getting about that time of evening. It's kind of getting dark out there, so seeing how it's Thursday, I better go in the house and work on a video for you. So I'm getting stuff done. It's just like, good hell, this thing's taking forever. Those are honest hands right there, folks. Honest hands. Honest hands. Anyway, I spend every day out here, Sundays included, finding shit to do, clean stuff up, disassemble stuff, looking for other problems. It just never ends. But I get this sucker done, and we're going to be in business now, I tell you what. We're going to be lifting things. Fixing some money-making equipment. Oh, I was going to show you here. We got the 336 home the other day. I don't know if I told you about this, but we got to get the DPF baked, the filter. And we got a leaky front idler. Just started leaking. And they're not like a cat. Can't put or a bulldozer. And you can't put oil in them. So Matt, I got this set for inside. I hope it works outside. He did some work on it today. Replaced the fuel filters. Took it out there and shoveled it off, brought it back, and put all this mud back on it. So I believe we've located the valve that runs the bucket coupler. It's right up under there. There's the pigtail plug in, and then that bracket hanging down there is what it mounts to. So we got to get that out and see if it's got a blown O-ring on it. When you close the thumb, you can just literally overpower the bucket. So we think that's what it is. So anyway, it was snowing earlier. It's melted a whole lot. Anyway, you guys have an awesome week. Oh, I was gonna mention, maybe I already did. If I did, I'll cut this out. So I called Cherry Picker Parts. Yeah, I told you about that. I got that stuff coming. So that stuff gets here, I can start putting some things together. I still got to get my cylinder over to Andy so I get the outrigger cylinders done, but I get those parts, all this crap can start going together. The difficult stuff, and then the RAM stuff's easy crap. I can do that later. But you guys have an awesome weekend. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and send me money. Yeah.
You know I love this life I lead.